Whoops, the casualty of the reign of terror that is Ezra Miller has claimed another victim in the form of a spin-off series for HBO Max. Yeah. I didn't even know there was such a thing. I knew there were supposed to be, and there's still going to be, apparently, as of now, spin-offs of the Batman, which was originally going to be some sort of Gotham PD story, and they scrapped that one, and now they're going to do an Arkham series, and then a series about the Penguin. But apparently there were going to be spin-offs for the Flash. Now, the Flash movie was going to reset the DCEU, and so that's why there's a lot of problems for the other DCEU films, as they were going to be connected to the events of the Flash film, which, time warps and multiverse shenanigans change everything, and bring Michael Keaton in as Batman and all that type of stuff. And, thanks to Ezra Miller, it's all ruined. But there's other casualties. So this story here from Mikey Sutton's Geekosity talks about this. And so he says, Warner Brothers Discovery reportedly canceled a Flash TV project. No, not the Grant Gustin show. According to a new report, it was an HBO Max series. The leak began with a mysterious tweet from actress Carolyn Kwan of Lucifer. I didn't watch Lucifer, so I'm not familiar with whoever was in it. But apparently she was. Kwan tweeted that a friend of hers developed a project that included Ezra Miller's The Flash. She said a friend of mine recently had a project canceled that had written 8 episodes for because it involves The Flash and Ezra Miller. Or it involves The Flash, and Ezra Miller continues to be a nightmare. Yeah, so there it is. It was a Flash TV show of some sort for HBO Max. So the last part is significant. This wasn't just an Ezra Miller series. Yeah, an Ezra Miller series? Jeez. Yeah. I guess it would be called Where is Ezra Miller? He's still missing in action at the moment. So anyway, Warner Brothers Discovery pulled it because of Ezra Miller's various scandals. You don't say! Before Kwan could elaborate, she deleted her tweet. Well, too late. Once it's out there, it's out there. So if this had originated from someone outside the industry, it would have gone nowhere. Everyone would have ignored it. Furthermore, Warner Brothers Discovery likely had her take it down. Sensitive information, after all. This was a secret DC show. It sure was, because a lot of this other stuff, like Penguin and all that, you heard about for quite a while, but never heard of anything like a HBO Max series spinning out of the Flash movie, which is too bad, because, if only you'd had a better star for it, this could expand and develop on the Flash character to give it more, because one of the problems with the DCEU is they don't have a lot of groundwork laid out for their characters. They kept rushing really quickly trying to catch up with Marvel, whereas Marvel had laid groundwork for their characters. They started with Man of Steel, and they should have kept going with that, developing their Superman before they jumped up and that sort of thing. It'd be okay to go ahead and do a Batman movie on the side that's connected and all that, but it would be a Batman movie. That's right. Anyway, they didn't do it that way. They did it ass backwards, and you see the results. So, HBO Max could have been this vehicle by which you expand upon this shared universe idea. And you've got this series, you watch that, and then it sets you up for the next film. Of course, it's a cash grab in a lot of ways, but that's the point. The art, if it happens, great, But that could have been a means by which to establish a lot of background and stuff for these characters, which is sorely missing. The only real build-up and background you get for these characters is in Zack Snyder's Justice League, especially for the Flash and Cyborg. So anyway, as the secret show, this raises questions. What was this? Why was DC Films planning a Flash spinoff on HBO Max with the Flash himself? Couldn't they have saved it for a sequel? I think it had to do with what I'm guessing at. Just a guess, but I could see that as an interesting idea, and probably a good one, had it worked out and had they had a better star playing the role. Well, I bet they wish they had one now, but Discovery stopped it in its tracks because Ezra. Yeah, therefore he must have played a substantial role. I don't know if anything was shot, but obviously they were going to work on it. Now you can't even find the guy, so... Insiders provided no answer. Speculation surfaced that it might have focused on the Flashpoint timeline. In other words, the new world the Flash accidentally creates from his time traveling. But sources argued that the upcoming Batgirl film would feature that already. Well, just based on the behind-the-scenes shooting and stuff and knowing who the cast are with J.K. Simmons and Michael Keaton, it seems the Batgirl is a film that exists in a world that results from the Flash film. More than just going into depth about what happened and who's what, when, where, and all that type of stuff. That would be more in tune with a Flash who has superpowers and can travel and all this stuff and, you know, that kind of thing. Whereas Batgirl's story, I think, looks like it's going to be more around her deal with the death of her mother, you know, her relationship with her father, Commissioner Gordon, being trained by Batman, and taking on Firefly. So certainly the results of the Flash film would be there to see, but that would be about it. Anyway, an insider did reveal DC Films once discussed a villain spinoff from the Flash movie. Nevertheless, there's no confirmation if this was the program in question. So I don't know if they meant a story about the evil Flash that's in the film, and not the Reverse Flash, but he's like an evil version of the Flash from the other world and all that type of stuff. If you've read the spoilers in mind as well, because I don't know that we're going to get to see this film. Looks like that one escaped, and yeah. Anyway, this, on the other hand, already had 8 scripts in the can. So, as of this writing, Warner Bros. Discovery hasn't made a decision about the Flash theatrical release. Nonetheless, tossing it onto HBOmax is the last resort. The company is watching the Ezra. Yeah, I bet. And they just, oh no, what's he going to do? And there's been more headlines. The choking victim came forward and told a bit of the story. And then there was some incident in Germany. It just, you know, on and on and on. Meanwhile, Mikey Sutton also has some thoughts on what they should do. And he makes basically an argument here that I think lines up pretty much. He talks about that they can't match Marvel without the Snyderverse. What do you mean? It didn't match Marvel already, and you know it failed. It failed here, and it succeeded elsewhere. The Wonder Woman movie, the first one, was really good, and that's why she's beloved in the row. She had a terrible sequel that hurt her, but I think she's still accepted there. Ben Affleck was a good Batman, but he never really got the chance to be Batman in a Batman movie. He felt kind of robbed by that, but he had his own troubles, and then there was the troubles of the whole Snyder, Joss Whedon, and all that crap. Aquaman hit $1 billion, so he did pretty good. Everybody likes Henry Cavill as Superman and would like to see him get to play Superman. And that, look, I think it's right there in Man of Steel. That's what they were trying to get to. You just had to get there in that movie. You couldn't just say, hey, tune in next time. It just wasn't going to work that way, and that's unfortunate. But I think people would be happy to see him in that role. And so that's where they're kind of stuck. Ezra is done. He's done. Ray Fisher burnt the bridge over his look at me shenanigans. So, but you still got the 4 Beatles. And you can recast those guys, you know. But what's laid down is what's laid down. And the article goes on. He talks about all the moves they've made. And Zaslav has had quite the hatchet out already. And a lot of things have been slashed and done away with, sadly. Raised by Wolves, which was an excellent series, got the axe. It's just too expensive to produce. It just wasn't getting the audience, and that's unfortunate. It was an excellent show, fascinating, and sadly ends on a cliffhanger. Hopefully, maybe someone else will pick it up, maybe Apple TV or something. But but something strange like Gotham Knights gets the green light. I don't get that. Of course, it's, I'm sure, very, very cheap, but still. How much longer is CW going to last? So anyway, there's that, and so that's what he's been doing. But so far, he goes on about that there's not enough excitement about what they do have. They got to hold back Aquaman because of Amber Turd, and then they got to hold back The Flash because of Ezra. So then there's Black Adam, which may be a cool movie. Some aspects of it sound good and it looks cool. It's got the Justice Society in it. I'm interested, but the average moviegoer doesn't know what that is. and that sort of thing. And there doesn't seem to be a lot of excitement generated about it. Hopefully that'll pick up, but can't weigh on that. And and then there's the Shazam movie. That's about all they're going to show at San Diego Comic-Con, because they've canceled a lot of stuff, again, because of the stupid scandals and all that sort of thing. He talks about, recasting Henry. So if they just did a reboot, you start over completely. That's not going to sit well with Henry Cavill. But sure, in time they'd get over it. But you got to start. You're literally starting over. You got to rebuild and start from the beginning, and then, hey, maybe in 10 years you'll be there. So what would be the excitement? And for the most part, what trends the most concerning DC is Snyderverse. For all its flaws, it tends to be their best bet. Does that mean a complete Snyder comes in and he's the Kevin Feige of DC, and all he wants to do with some of the crazy ideas he had for those sequels? Hopefully those get scrapped and the good ones can stay intact, and you'd have something kind of cool. But just basically, he'd made some pretty good casting choices in some aspects, really awful ones in others. And it's a flawed, broken up structure or foundation, if you will, but it is a foundation that is there, and some points work and some don't. Streamline that down, organize it, and come back again. And that might get some interest and some investment, and excitement would lead to that. And but the clock is ticking. If there was some article obviously suggesting Henry Cavill was already too old. No, he isn't. He's got some years yet to go that could do some good Superman movies. But you got to start right now. And hopefully those talks are going on, or have already been held. There's another rumor about Black Adam, where there's a tease about Superman, that apparently Amanda Waller appears in an end-credit scene teaser or something like that. And Amanda Waller is, of course, a character that could be utilized as a character who attaches everything like Nick Fury. That's kind of what she is for the DC universe, even though her primary position is running the Suicide Squad. But the scene is that she's talking to somebody about this new threat that Black Adam represents, and then apparently there's a silhouette of Superman, or his cape appears, or something like that. And but there's no Henry Cavill. So once again, it's Shazam all over again. That's a test screening. Perhaps since then they've been able to go ahead, because that seems like a simple scene to shoot. They could hurry up, have Cavill show up in a green screen studio and put him in there, and he has some scene where he responds to Amanda Waller, and that's it. Because The Rock has teased and teased and teased his desire to have Black Adam go up against Superman. There was one where he talked about that's what he wants, and he made a nod as to which Superman that'll be. I don't know. But I would have thought his voice was pretty strong in this, but then again, they might be waiting for him to deliver on this Black Adam film, and then he'll command more power there, that sort of thing. But even by then, it's like, you don't really need him to be on board with it. There's a fandom that I think is demonstrable that wants Henry Cavill as Superman, and in a Superman film, not just doing cameos and stuff like that. It's fine to get him to do it, but there needs to be a Superman film, and that would go a long way to breathe new life into your DC shared universe. And I think it's a no-brainer. And you need to forget about looking for the other character. It's Superman that you want to center your shared universe around. He's your Iron Man. So anyway, he doesn't have he's getting there. I don't know. Maybe that's the stumbling block. His star power. He thinks he's worth more money than they think. That's always been the rumored problem for him. But since then, he's built up his name, and with Witcher and whatnot. Maybe so, but hopefully they can work out a deal because I think it could pay off for them, done right and handled well, and people who understand Superman could make this work. So this is more of an opinion piece, and Riley says there's insiders telling him that that's kind of what Zaslav is looking at. Maybe so. It makes sense to me. Whether it's true or not, you don't know until you get some sort of announcement. But it would have to be soon. I think, this ball's got to be rolling. But if this is true, that they couldn't get him back yet again for another Shazam movie, or Black Adam this time, that doesn't sound good. So, but anyway. So, yeah, there's something to this. Marvel's in the middle of danger now. It's put out some real losers. They got the Spider-Man movie, which was an enormous hit. And then Doctor Strange follows and doesn't quite match up. Did better than their previous summer movies, but not by much. And so now's the time for DC to strike. If you could announce, just even the announcement that, yes, Henry Cavill's back, we're doing new Superman, that would probably suck up a lot of oxygen in the room for superhero movies. And make them forget all about Ezra, because you're going to want them to forget all about Ezra, especially since we probably haven't heard the last of his mess. Yeah. So anyway, lost a Flash TV show, but maybe they can revisit that with a new Flash and make use of HBOmax to flesh out a lot of this DC Universe stuff, which is sort of what they did with Peacemaker. You can do more stuff like that. So anyway, there you go. Yeah, you're kind of stuck with Snyderverse one way or the other, or certainly the elements of it. And so, yeah, I guess Mikey's got a point here.